Yo, what's going on, guys? C4RQ, penetrating your eardrums. Uh, Decided to do a podcast because I've been putting it off, and every time I think of a topic, when it comes to actually sitting down and talking about it, I can't be asked because I've already got off my chest by ranting about it in my own head. So this time, I was coming here. I had a thought from many different conversations I've had over the last couple of weeks, seeing them WhatsApp groups and whatnot. And one common denominator seems to be that people just like chaos, bruv. And I done minimal research, which is probably worse than doing no research, to be fair. But I looked through a little bit. I'll probably revisit this topic when I'm more well equipped to talk about it. But I feel it's kind of human nature to like chaos. And I think the FGC is a very good indication on why people do like chaos. It's probably going to be like a very broad and vague conversation, like I said, because I haven't done much research on it. And it's just an opinion that I have. I've kind of more done this to see if anyone can basically challenge what I'm saying. Maybe not challenge, but just put in their 2 cents. Maybe it's just me being super pessimistic about shit. But yeah, I feel that chaos is everyone's main agenda. Whether it be playing, drama on Twitter, just everything. And I know, in IRL, people use chaos to distract them from the reality. And I think that can be either translated or it's just ingrained in people, so it comes out in fighting games. Where it's way easier to create drama, look at drama, than deal with the fact that you're probably shit at a fighting game. Maybe. So let me wait for the okay from Fury that my audio's all good. The audio in the background's not too loud. I thought I'd put audio in it because it's on my own, and there's going to be probably moments where I pause and have to think. Yo, man, Dark Horse, Mr. Fruit Loops himself. Yeah, it's all fine. Sick. And another thing I'm probably going to do in this podcast, I'll try and do it as quick, short, and painless as possible, but because I'm a geek, I know a lot of references to things that people might not know, whether it be comics or fucking fighting game lore, and I'll be using those as an example to my mentality about the chaos and shit. Can't really hear anything in the background. You'll probably hear my chair squeak every now and again. 1,000 apologies. I want there to be a little bit of BGM, not too much. But yeah, cool. If you can't hear it, then that's fine. It's no biggie. It's just a shitty fighting game BGM playlist anyway, so it's whatever. I'm smoking while I'm doing this, just to show that I'm not esports. I am going to talk about Hungrybox. That was one of the... I think that might have been the catalyst. I think I was thinking about it beforehand, and when that Hungrybox thing happened, I was like, yeah, nah, everyone needs to dead. Everyone needs to dead. Some days I'll go to hit on a Wednesday and think, man, I wish I played Smash. At least people actually fucking turn up to play offline. And I'm like, man, the Smash community is quite toxic. So is every community, but man, Hungrybox gets some fucked up stuff. Talking about, yo, that podcast is, I think that was the first podcast that we did with someone other than me and CT. I think that was the first one. Yeah, CT done a podcast with G-Sports Able back in the day when G-Sports Able was a thing. That's a madness. And another thing that made me want to do it today is it's a fucking crime. It's literally a crime against humanity, right? There's these guys in New Zealand that do a podcast. Obviously, because I want to do the podcast, I want to kind of see what everyone else is doing, get inspiration, get a bar to what I want to, do. That's why it's been very sporadic with these podcasts. The first couple were with people, then I kind of stopped because I was like, I know it's called Big Rant Attack, but I don't want to rant all the fucking time. I want solutions. I want to talk about stuff that's relevant, not that's hot topic because there's loads of people that go, oh yeah, this yesterday on Twitter, this was said, let's talk about it. Those problems are just like fads. They come and go, and then I want to talk about core things. So I might even bring up examples of stuff that happened in the past and be like, what happened to this? Like, is this not a problem anymore because no one's talking about it on Twitter? So that's kind of how I want to do it. Production stuff I'm going to be looking on as well. It's pretty ghetto at the moment. I kind of like the ghetto feel, but it's too ghetto. Like, it's too ghetto. I have to appreciate that everyone doesn't fucking love Vegeta like I do. So yeah, I'm going to change up. The name's staying regardless. The name is always staying. But yeah, this layout is definitely going to change at some point. So yeah, chaos. I don't know where to fucking start, mate. I think people like drama. I think people like upsets. They like things not going according to plan. I think this is why people like... Well, I think this is why tournaments exist. I don't think this is why people like tournaments now. But I think that's the whole point of tournaments. To not cause an upset, but for a format of players to encounter upsets. Money matches, you don't really get an upset because it's two people that obviously think they're going to beat each other. So there's no upset because they both think they can win. You get a blow up, but it's not an upset. Tournaments allow for upsets. Round robins don't allow for upsets. That's more consistency in a player's skill. So it kind of alleviates random shit happening or random players that aren't as good getting through, blah, 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 blah. I mean, the upset doesn't have to be from a player that's not good getting through. It could be an unknown player or high expectations of a good player doing well and then coming up against something they weren't ready for. So, yeah, I'm not saying the upset is only for bad players to get well. But yeah, that's another example I feel is relevant. The thing that was bugging me is it's like how far the FGC goes with this whole chaos thing and how they don't want peace. They don't want control. And it's a bit of a reach. It's a bit of a reach, but I was thinking, is this the reason that people like Sonic Fox and don't like Chris G? Now, if you take their two playstyles, I think 98.7% of people like Sonic Fox because he's winning and he's obviously known as the King of Scrambles. Every time Sean doesn't win, shout out to Sean. But yeah, so yeah, we'll take Sonic Fox. I should take Sean as an example because Sean is actually control. He is the 1.3%. He is the 1.3% for sure. But most people, they like chaos. And with Sonic Fox, he was a fucking menace in Skullgirls. The way he plays just... Other than DOA, that I've not seen him play, all the other games he plays, it's just carnage. It's fucking mayhem. And people love that shit. I don't particularly like it. For me, it actually puts me off. But I suppose when you're coming into a fighting game, everyone has an experience with playing someone and going, either, okay, I want to be casual, or fighting games aren't for me, let me just bang on Dota. Or they go like, look, I want to be good at this. I want to be better than you. This person that I played, I want to be the greatest, whatever. Fucking ass-catching bullshit, like... And I think the whole mentality of fighting fire with fire comes into play. And even that saying alone is retarded, honestly. But the chaos ensues from people going, oh, okay, this person beat me in a way where I could not control what was going on in the match. So he must have been doing chaos. He must have been just doing stuff at me. Everything he did hit me. When you don't understand the fighting game, that's how it looks like. And I feel because... chaos comes with a degree of luck and randomness. Like, if you take chaos in the form of, let's say, this is going to be the geek part. If you take the Batman and Joker, for example, and the whole dichotomy of Joker isn't that he's insane, even though some comics and some writers say he is, or films make him out to be. If you know comics and you're a geek like me, you know that what Batman and Joker are two sides of the same coin. They had the same traumatic start and they both just took different forks in the road. Batman wanted to control the chaos by being basically a menace. He took the law into his own hands. He beats up bad people. He's still doing illegal shit. But he makes it out that he's doing it for justice. Where Joker's like, there is no justice. There is just shit that happens. His whole thing is anyone can be the Joker with one bad day. That's his thing. And he's sort of like a Harvey Dent. He's the Two-Face guy who flips a coin for everything. That's how I feel I am in the FGC. I think I'm a Harvey Dent, but we might not need to cover that. But the Joker is like, okay, chaos is unfair. It's unforgiving. It's not prejudiced. Like, anyone can get it. Anyone can get chaos. Like, there is no control of it. Batman is wasting his time. That's Joker's thing. He doesn't want to kill Batman. He wants Batman to be on his side with it being nothing matters. This is all a joke. It all doesn't matter because chaos is fucking, chaos is the actual control. You can't control chaos. Chaos is the control because it's something that is inevitable. Anyways, I feel like the whole FGC is the Joker, but they don't want to be the Joker. I think people like Chris G, Justin Wong, they are the Batmen. They are trying to control. If you take their gameplay as an example, Chris G tries to control the match. And what happens? Everyone hates him. Hungrybox. Fucking, like, I know people didn't like Chris G, but it seems like people hate Hungrybox for how he plays. And what is he doing? He's controlling the match. He's controlling what he can do. He is trying to be away from the chaos. And people hate that shit. And I'm like, hold on, you'd rather praise Sonic Fox for being good in a scramble situation, which is basically random. You're praising someone for being good in random chaotic situations. There's someone who's like, oh, hold on, let me just control the fucking nonsense and win that way. Like, to me, that is backwards. It's so backwards. But I'm clearly a minority here. Oh, man, like Kupo. Shit, I need to actually check the chat. And I'm going to be checking the chat to see what people are saying because I don't want it to be a podcast where people are just having to listen to me and, yeah, it's a bit boring. Cool analogy. Cheers, Chaos. Two-Face. Leo May. Alright, okay. You know what? I'm going to address me. Because I feel the whole Chaos thing does come in line with how I look at fighting games and pick my characters. I will address that. Don't worry. Back turning. Allow me, bro. Counter was control, bro. The counter was a control. But anyway. Killing Joke. Not just the Killing Joke. All of the Joker stuff. Killing Joke. Dark Knight. What was the other one where he fucking took his face off and he was sewing the faces onto other people? The one where he killed Robin. I'm not a massive DC head, so I can't remember all the names of the comics. But Killing Joke is the one where he fucking took Gordon and his daughter, and he tried to show that, yeah, this good person, if he has one bad day, he's going to be like me. And I think everyone's bad day is when they joined the FGC. I think when everyone got beat and they realised, oh, there's a scene for this and there's other players, that was their bad day. The bad day was getting into the FGC. Because that's the day you realise that being a casual player doesn't mean anything. It's kind of irrelevant. When you don't know about tournaments and streams, that's when you're a casual player. Getting beat and then someone going, oh yeah, I play offline at this place. And you're like, oh, what? There's people that go out of their way to play this? That is a madness. Like, what do I want to do? Do I want to do that? Do I think you're all waste? Like, that is the one bad day when you realise what you're taking as a joke or a game is serious to someone. Oh, Death in the Family, that's the one. Death in the Family. So yeah, that could be the correlation with the Killing Joke. In regards to the whole chaos thing, Chris G and Sonic Fox, people seem to like the chaos maybe because it's random. Now, when you play a game, I think we've all been a part of that. Like, I'm kind of trying to get out of it. You play a game and you lose and you're like, well, boy, he was just doing madness. I lost. You're okay with losing to chaos, but you're not okay when you try to control the chaos and it don't work. That's when it hurts. When you're fighting fire with fire and you're like, okay, you're mad, I'm gonna play mad. So if I lose, it doesn't really matter. If I win, my chaos is better than yours. It's like, where is the progression with that? How can you get better when you're just throwing yourself at someone? How can you take that as a win when you're literally just doing the same thing as the other person? In the Sim podcast, you were saying you play to make people go, wow, yeah. That comes from making hard reads and being more aggressive. People aren't saying wow over good footsies. Oh yeah, fuck, hell no. That is why no one liked Cross Tekken. No one liked Cross Tekken because there was so little chaos. This is what I think. People loved MVC 3 and 2, but they loved 3, and that game was a whole heap of dog shit. It's a fun game, but when it comes to fucking chaos and control, Chris G was the only one who was controlling. There was some other people, like Dominion played that team, Darkon played that team, he's a sick guy. But everyone else is like, oh, I'm going to go in with Virgil Zero, Cool Strider, and let's just get some fucking... Just press some buttons at each other. Let's play some scramble. Like, they went out of their way to play a scramble game. Like, yes, they did play footsie. Like, Ray played neutral. It's a lot different in that game. But when you get the hit, it's just a madness. It's just a madness. I'd say 98.7% of that game was chaotic. And 1.3 was neutral. Look at Cambridge River, bruv. He was just throwing himself at people with Hulk. Big ups to him, though. Like, if you're going to fight fire with fire, come out with a fucking forest fire, innit? Just blaze everyone to bits. Like, fuck it. So, yeah, I was thinking, okay, how deep does this go with the whole chaos thing? Obviously, the dramas on Twitter, that's just chaotic. People could stop wasting time looking at other people, looking at other scenes, complaining about shit, not bringing up solutions. They could go in trainer mode and practice some shit. How about that? How about they could practice controlling their game instead of moaning about the game? Meet me outside. How about that, innit? Like, I don't know. Maybe that's not an option. Maybe that's not an option. And I understand that you can't control the chaos all the time. Chris G wasn't undefeated. Like, he lost. But I think it's because it's a lot easier to fall back on, oh, I couldn't control the chaos because I was doing that as well. Which is weird because I think a lot of people that have played other competitive games come to fighting games because they've got nothing else to blame. They've only got themselves to blame. They don't have teammates to blame, coaches, teams. So it's weird. It's like, well, if you're playing a fighting game, you're playing a fighting game. So the whole basis is on you, nothing else. Which is weird when maybe that's why people seek out chaos more. Because it's like, well, I don't want to blame myself. I don't want to do that. I want to blame other people. I want to blame matchups. And I've had the discussion about matchups versus character, player matchups versus character matchups. And like, it's more important to know the player. The character, you can control that because you know what is capable from the character. The player is the problem. The player is the person that beats you, not the character. Because the character is good, if you put it in the hands of a shit player, they're still shit. They have an easier time covering up that they're shit, but they're still shit. And if they beat you, that makes you shit. So we're all pawn scum. Losing to a bad player, using a good character, means you're both shit. That's how I see it. Everyone hates Street Fighter 5. Oh my god, I am getting walls of texts. I'm kind of gassed. Missed a couple. Everyone hates Street Fighter 5 for the lack of footsies, but enjoys things like Blaz and Guilty. I mean, I like Street Fighter 5. I liked watching Street Fighter 5 for the carnage. When Balrog dropped, I cared again. And I didn't care because they made Nash, a character that I like because of control. He didn't have any control. He had no control. He couldn't put people in a situation that was favourable for him. And I didn't like that. So I stopped playing him. I stopped playing the game. But I like to watch Ibuki, Urians, Balrogs rob people blind. I love that shit. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, I don't think I'm 100% control. Chaos is boring. It's no good. Like, I fully accept that I like seeing it when it's away from me. I'm watching the world burn from a tower high in the sky where I'm safe. That is exactly what I'm doing. That involves accepting your weakness, and most people aren't about that life. Yeah, of course not. Most people don't want to accept the weakness. It's not a nice thing to feel when you lose because you are shit. When you've put in time and practice and you think you're getting somewhere and you lose and you're like, wow, why did I lose? No one likes asking that question. I don't like watching the matches I lose. I fucking hate it. I don't watch to the end. If I do watch it at all. What I normally do, which probably shows why my progression in Dragon Ball Z is a bit shit, is I watch random matches and see what I'm doing differently. That's all I'm doing. In GG, it was a bit different. In GG, I did watch my matches, because a lot of them were against good players, so I couldn't find any matches where I won. I had no choice. I had to watch me getting beat by Nefi, watch me get beat by Sean. So yeah, I got better that way. I had no other frame of reference but watching people beat me. I think what it happens is you watch Christy play, try and get fucking banged up. Yeah, everyone tried Guy with Street Fighter 5 and got fucked online. But when they tried an aggressive character, they get wins. Yeah, exactly. Being defensive is hard as fuck. You can't blame your loss on a bad 50-50 read. Yeah, I agree. I think people aren't about that life. I used to think people didn't like playing lane because they thought it was boring. I think people don't like playing lane because it's easier to take a loss when you're playing aggressive and chaotic, and it's easier to do. It's very hard to maintain or to be aware of someone's options or when that's your game plan. Your game plan is to counter someone. That's hard to do. But if you look at it, when it comes to top players, all they're doing is going, I'm going to make you make a mistake. That's how I'm going to win. I'm going to wait for you to make a mistake. So, again, that is control. Forcing someone to be chaotic. Maybe. That's how I see it. Maybe I'm wrong. It's funny how everyone cries that there's no footsies in Street Fighter 5, yet Theory said no one is saying WoW. Yeah, it's very... I mean, the whole WoW in Street Fighter 5 happened a long time ago, and that was when everyone got gassed about shimmies. Who fucking knew? Who knew that shimmies would be the fucking thing that made Street Fighter 5? Like, I can't believe people got so gassed about shimmies. I can't understand it. Like, yeah, it's cool. It's sick when it happens. But when that's the most influential and hypest thing in a match, someone walking backwards and walking forwards again, when most people that don't understand the concept of footsies do that on a regular basis. Like, come on now. Because people didn't want to do wake up sweep. Because that's all you had to do to beat a shimmy was wake up sweep. But no one clocked onto that. I don't think I've ever seen a wake up sweep in my life in Street Fighter 5. Type of guy to enjoy Punk getting CC'd, but hates it when he gets CC'd. I didn't like Street Fighter 5 mainly because of how Nash is. That's which is kind of pathetic, but I'm all about character loyalty. In that game, in the beta, Nash had stuff. Nash had plus frames. He had control. He has no control. He hasn't got reversal, and he ain't got a free frame button. There is no need to respect that character. And what made it worse was that people were winning with him, and people were complaining about a character that was shit because they nerfed like one or two things. They added a frame here or there, and they were like, "Oh, this character's written off. Like all these limbs are gone." I was like, nothing fucking. They didn't like take away invincibility. They didn't take away a free frame button. They didn't take away meaty off a throw. Like, they didn't take away core things that make other characters good. They made his dash a frame slower. His forward dash. Apparently one of the things was that when he dashed, the first like 10 frames you couldn't see because he didn't move, and then he moves. And it's like, well, you still got 10 frames to be buffering a button. Whether you see it or not. You got 10 frames to buffer a button. Anyway. The reason I picked Nash is because in like alpha days, when I watched like my uncles and stuff play, I was like, yo, this character looks cool. He looks like a Saiyan, and he's all for justice. He's Guile's master, and everyone loves Guile, so I was like, go up the chain. He's trying to take down bad guys. He was control, and that's why I liked him. When I went to Street Fighter 4, I was like, okay, what's the next best thing? Bison. He's trying to control. Whether it be good or bad, he's trying to control. I think I'm drawn to control characters, whether it be storyline or playstyle. In Marvel, I lost my way, but my way in the end was Hawkeye. My way was Hawkeye and Badger Assist. So I'm like, I don't want none of this chaos. I want you to stay as far away as possible, and I want to hit you and kill you with as little risk to my health, sanity, and life as possible. Depends on the games you play. Okay, there's obviously games I don't play. I don't play Virtual Fire. I don't know what that is like when it comes to like chaos. Tekken doesn't look that chaotic, to be fair. I think they made it chaotic with the fucking slowdown shit. I think put in a factor like that where it's like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? That is chaos. You don't need that. I personally don't think you need that. I don't think Tekken needed that slowdown thing at the end. They did it in Guilty Gear as well, Guilty Gear. I think the reason I like Guilty Gear is because every character has a defensive mechanic to control chaos. They've all got FD and they've all got insta blocks. So you can change things to your advantage, even if you're trying to be conservative. I think that's why I liked it a lot. I've been getting shitted by your Brian since day. Yeah. That's all I did with Brian. I did backdash into fucking Mark Breaker. That's literally it. Bison just walk back forward, walk back forward, walk back forward, medium kick. That was the character. I've been shimmying neutral for no point for like years when I played that game. So wake up sweep is low IQ though. People do wake up, crouch, medium kick. Yeah, they do that. They do wake up, crouch, medium kick. Oh God, let's not talk about Street Fighter. Foxy's getting me triggered. Let's not talk about that. He looks like, yeah, man, most of the characters I pick, if it's not got a comic book related theme, is because they remind me of Vegeta, basically. Basically, that's what it is. All the characters, bar Hulk, that I like are about control. And I like Hulk because of the battle for control. Like, it's Bruce Banner and Hulk. I like the whole Jekyll and Hyde dichotomy that he's got. All the other characters are control. I like Silver Surfer. I like Ronan. That's who's on my hitbox, on my old hitbox. Ronan was the accuser. He was a judge for the Kree. He was judge, jury, executioner, all that shit. He exercised laws. He was control. That's the kind of characters I like. I love Hulk, but in Marvel I played Iron Fist. He's got chi and shit, bruv. Discipline, control, like that appeals to me. All that shit appeals to me. Vegeta, even though it was bad control, it was still control. He wanted to control the Earth when he first came. Then he went margin, and he controlled. He took back control, even though he got mind washed. Fury's gonna fucking turn off the stream if I keep talking about this. But yeah, all the characters I like have either a battle with control or are trying to control something, or known to control something. What we got here? You want big brains? Wake up CC into full combo. I've played Jammers and he's done Wake Up Fierce before. Definitely. I've had that done to me and I was very upset. NRS's mix of chaos and control. Fairly well balanced. Okay, I'll come back to that. How is Leo control? Leo's not control. He looks like a Saiyan. That took precedent over his game plan. And I do not like how Leo plays. I like how Kai plays. You might not, yeah, you're not in the Guild Gear chat, so you don't know. But from day, I've said, man, I wish Kai had a Leo DLC. Costume. If Kai looks like Leo, I'd still be playing that game. But Leo plays like a fucking gorilla. But I like the aspects of the character, so I ended up playing him. And I don't like the aspects of Kai, so I didn't play him. But I like using Kai. I like how he plays because he is control. He is controlling that game. And with Leo, I tried to play control. I tried to play in back turn all the time because in back turn he had a 1-frame counter, which stopped everything. It stopped attacks, supers, didn't stop throws, and throws are 1 frame, and it stopped bursts. So when I grabbed someone's burst, it was like, I am controlling this match. You could have burst at any moment. I knew I counted it. I am in control. Your random shit is not going to work. That's why I like Leo. Like playing him eventually. At first I was like, I'm just throwing out buttons. Seeing if they hit. Oh, if they don't hit, I'm going to have to do this unsafe move into another unsafe move. Leo, for people that don't know, does not have a safe move. Everything he does is minus or a risk. And that's without insta-blocking. So if I did something on block, I had to go into something else that was unsafe. And the sequence just kept going, which is probably the best definition of chaos. You keep doing something, even though you can be stopped or punished for doing that thing. In other games, even other Guilty Gear characters, they can do a string, go, oh, it's on block, let me cancel into something safe. Cross Tekken was like that. Cross Tekken was like, oh, this is all block, I'm going to finish in this safe move and we go back to neutral. Control. The game was absolute control. There was very little chaos in there. The Pandora thing, fucking hardly chaos. There was no, you could do dramatic battle where you had 2 characters on screen, and even that wasn't that chaotic. It was not that chaotic. Where BB Tag, on the other hand, that is 98.7% for fucking sure. NRS games are a mix. I have never played MK. No, tell a lie. I played one, and I played what's his name? Kotal Khan. I played Kotal Khan for a bit. I guess it depends on your definition of chaos and control. I think even in Injustice, which I've got a bit more experience with, the zoning is sort of chaotic with how people use it. It's sort of like, literally, like in America, you've got a gun and it's like, oh, well, I can shoot anyone, technically, if someone comes to the mass. It's still chaotic. You're using it for control, but in Injustice, if you're just flinging out projectiles, it's slightly chaotic. Slightly chaotic. But I do understand what you're saying. I think Injustice does promote that, but then on the other hand, you can't explain Batman to me. Because Batman is literally chaos in that game. And they will not change it. They try to, but the things that make him chaotic, they have clearly left on him. Or have they not? Have I got that wrong? I think, yeah, like Aquaman, Deadshot, they promoted control. They promoted control, for sure. What about BB Tag and DBZF? Oh, they're fully chaos. Absolutely. BB Tag more so, I would say. DBZ is... It's more random. It's more random, I'd say. In the fact with the clashes don't work. Like in Guilty Gear, each attack has a level and then certain moves clash with each other. So a level 2 move will clash with another level 2 move. It won't clash with level 1, it will beat it. In Guilty, things just clash. You can have a 2M clash with a super dash. It's fucking horseshit. Like, why? Why is that a thing? Super dash should lose to everything. It should be level 0. It should lose to every other move. Shouldn't beat anything. So yeah, for that reason, I find it random. Not in the sense that anything could happen, but the concept of what works and what doesn't feels random. You can 2H and still get hit by a super dash if you're not frame perfect and shit. It's dumb. BB Tag, I feel you have to be chaotic in that game because the screen is way smaller. Like, if both players like put their back to the corner, there's not that much space. Like, there's not that much space. Like, you still have to react to things. Where in Marvel, when you're full screen, the worst that could happen was a quick disruptor. Like, you could get away from stuff like jam sessions. You can maneuver around hidden missiles and whatnot. BB Tag, you have to become chaotic. And the Japanese are, like, sort of implementing this meta where you just get 2 characters on the screen, go fucking ham, and hope you get hit. Like, that's their meta so far. When everyone catches on and everyone's doing that, I do not know what's going to happen with that game. I don't know what's going to happen. Batman is control, not chaos. Chaos is the Flash or Cheetah. Could you not say, though, that the Flash has to be controlled to get in the first place? Doesn't the Flash have to be controlled to start his chaos? Because he has to get in. And that game, the screen's massive. Well, not massive, but it's quite large compared to other, like, non-NRS games. The whole walk block thing, you can do that for a long-ass time. If your back's to the wall and they've got the screen to walk back on, you can walk block for a long time. And I feel a Flash player has to be controlled to get in to do his nuttiness. Cheetah, I know she's got leaps and shit, so it's not the same, and she's got dive kicks and whatnot. Batman, to me, is chaos purely because he's so hard to block. But that could be a me thing. That could definitely be a me thing. And just, you know, from selective matches. His neutral is unreasonably good. Hence why I think that is also slightly chaotic. Because it's zone, like batarang. And then if you use his trait, that stops your control not working. Which kind of leads it to being chaotic, because now you're just doing it because you know there's no repercussions. That's how his zoning feels to me. I know it's not like that all the time with the trait, but yeah, when you can control without any repercussions, to me that kind of feels chaotic, because then you're not thinking anymore. Because it's like, well, nothing bad can happen to me if I do this. Like, let me know, anyone can say if I'm wrong, like, not just Foxy, anyone. But that's how I see Batman zoning, unlike new Aquaman and stuff like that. When he with his from the deep getting nerfed and whatnot. Renaissance Chip in Chaos. Resonance. Yeah, Resonance Chip is... Jin is... I think Jin is quite similar to Batman. I think Jin's quite similar to Batman. He has such disgusting tools for zoning that he just becomes chaos and he's doing stuff. Same with Ruby. Well, no, Ruby doesn't zone. She is chaos. I think Blake's quite Batman-ish, where her 5B is so good, there is no risk reward for not doing it, so you just end up throwing it out, even though you're at safe range, because you can't get punished. In some matches, yeah, but the Flash is going to get in. It's not if, it's when. Flash has running man stance. Yes, he does have running man stance. And that goes under most like projectiles because they hit sort of like mid-ish. Like the gunshot stuff, he's like in a crouch animation, so yeah, he runs underneath it. Batman, it's easy to block until he hits you. Okay, so like he's Oki. Oki's really good, but in neutral he doesn't hit you. Is that what you're trying? Is that what you're saying? Let's talk about... Do you really want to talk about Johnny? Batman isn't really a zoner though, to be fair. He doesn't win anything through zoning. More through footsies by holding one bat. Yeah, from what I experienced, he wins through frustrating the opponent into doing something stupid. He wins by making the other player turn to chaos when he knows he can control it easily. If that makes any sense. Which is control. He's controlled the match when he has one bat around. Yeah, when he has one bat, he kind of can't do any wrong. And that's when you basically get drunk with power and you become chaotic. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. When you've got one bat, you are absolutely corrupted because there is no decision you can think of and it's like, well, I'm gonna fucking lose for this when you've got a bat. But I'm not a Batman player, so I could be totally wrong. Johnny is... He's just unreasonable. I don't think he comes under control or chaos. He is just unreasonable. He's just not fair. Which is the opposite to chaos. Well, no, it's the same. Because chaos is fair. Because it doesn't discriminate. But what Johnny does is actually unfair. But because I only played Leo, that matchup's pretty bad. I don't know if anyone else feels about Johnny the way I do, personally. About him being unfair. It sounds like that people do. But again, there was nothing really he could do wrong. Even though he had resources. Sort of like Batman. But yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, Johnny just feels a bit different. Maybe because of the game he's in. He feels like a cross-taking character in Guilty Gear where he can just do no wrong. He can do something on block and then go, well, I'm safe. And if you don't respect my safety, you're going to die. Which is shit. Faust I don't like because he is unfair again, but because of the whole random shit. Which I don't like as a mechanic anyway. I don't think it's a good mechanic. In Marvel, in UMVC 3, Senko had random items as well. But what they did is they did it so every, like, obviously there's frames in the game. So it was like every certain amount of frames, an item will come out. But obviously we can't see frames or count frames while we're playing. So it seemed random to the Senko user. But there was a rule to it. So if every 60 frames, if you input the item throw, you'd get the same item every time. If you could actually get it on the 60th frame every time. So there was a rule to it. There was control to it. It wasn't random, which is Faust. Faust items are random. There is an RNG in there, and it's a computer, like, it's, you know, data, which can actually be truly random. People can't be random. It's impossible for someone to be truly random. Your brain can't do that. You can't process a random thought. Whether it be, like, a repressed thought or something you thought about subconsciously or a year ago today. Like, there is a reason why you had that thought. It's not random. People can't do random shit. Look that up. I looked that up, to be fair. What we got? I'm getting into GG. I want to know the BS he can cause. Johnny will get you paid. If you put the time in with Johnny, he can definitely get you money. Without that. Without that. He does reward you for getting good. Like, you have to learn Johnny. You don't have to learn to play Guilty Gear. That's why I don't like him. You don't have to learn anything about Guilty Gear if you want to win. You just pick Johnny and learn Johnny. All the other characters, you need to know other people's options. Johnny does not give a fuck about anyone's options. He just doesn't. He doesn't need to know them. They're all irrelevant to him. Kai deals with Johnny well. I would love to see in what universe Kai deals with Johnny well. Go with Evo. That's all I can say. Go watch Evo. And then tell me about Johnny losing or Kai doing well against Johnny, because that is definitely not a thing. I don't think anyone does well against Johnny. Maybe Faust. But Kai's control is nowhere near enough to control Johnny. Because Johnny's beyond chaos. Johnny's way beyond chaos. That's like getting Tommy Pickle to fight One Punch Man, bro. Like, it's just a fucking mess. Like, there's nothing. He might be able to get hits off, fireballs here and there, but those fireballs, he's going to have to hit him with literally like 100 fireballs. Johnny has to hit you with one fucking misfinder. And you die. And the misfinder nullifies projectiles and hits an opponent. Like Beat Driver does. What if Faust was like Ginyu and his items had a set order? Then it would be fair. Then he would be fair. Ish. He's still got moves that are unreasonable. Like, his 2K's dumb. His normals are dumb. The character's dumb. He has a dust that's invincible. Fucking a universal mechanic that they changed for just him. That's like in Dragon Ball, someone having a super dash that calls the wall bats. Just one character. It's just why. Why would you do that to someone? Like, if it's a universal mechanic, give it universal properties. Don't let someone else have a different one. Like frames and stuff, yeah, change the frames or whatever, that's fine. But his one's invincible. So he can literally do wake up dust YRC. And that's the equivalent of Viper doing wake up EX Thunder Knuckle and cancelling it. He's got that. Which is sick. In a game where there's one throws of one frame. Sick. And if you don't cancel it, you get fucking overhead. Cool. Overhead into damage, mate. Damage. So yeah, the whole Chaos Control thing. What do I need to go over? Talks about the play styles, chaotic play styles against controlled, and yeah, the Hungry Box thing. For people that don't know, obviously, him playing Jigglypuff is a new thing. People hating him for playing Jigglypuff and how he plays. The Smash people have said like, "Oh, you're killing our game because you're playing lame. This is boring. No one wants to see this shit." He's winning, so he's gonna obviously keep doing that shit. Why would he stop playing a certain way that works because people are telling him they don't like it? Get good enough to beat him. That's how you stop him from playing lame. That's how you stop him from playing Jigglypuff. Force him to play someone else. Force him to play Fox. Fox, like everyone else. It's not featuring anyone today. It's just me and BGM. So yeah, then recently what happened to him was at Evo, people were moaning that he was looking at his watch in between like games and stuff, and people on Twitter going, "Oh, he's fucking cheating. He's stalling. He's wasting time. He's so lame. He's trying to cool down the other opponent. His opponent, sorry." And then he just said like, "What the fuck is wrong with you people? I was looking at my watch. I was looking at the time because I had the flight to catch. He had to obviously fly back to wherever he's going." And people going, "Oh, well, you only had to look at it once. Could you not remember what the time was when you looked at it 10 minutes ago?" And it's like, when was it okay for someone to tell you how many times you could look at your watch? When was it okay for someone to say like, "Oh, you don't remember the time? Didn't you look at it this morning? Can't you work out how long it has been since then?" Like, people are fucking dumb. People are such mongoloids. Like, fuck off. Just fuck off. People feel so strong on Twitter that they just say absolutely dumb things. So dumb. Like, that comment itself triggered me so much that someone said that. Someone was complaining about someone not remembering the time. How dumb is that? How... So dumb. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But yeah, that... And then obviously, Sony, Hungrybox was just like, fuck you guys, you're all arseholes, just let me fucking play my game. And it's like, it's just so much bollocks. So much bollocks. All the 10-minute hate that Sonic Fox got when he was accused of cheating or switching sides. That hasn't lasted. Everyone loves Sonic Fox. It's just weird, but I think it's because the way he plays. The way he plays isn't boring, so it's just like, we'll give him a pass. Like, it's cool, you can do that. He makes games exciting to watch because it's chaotic and anything can happen. And I think people don't like control. Whether they say, I think players obviously do more than spectators. Where it comes to like tournaments where they want the better player to win, they want that to happen. I just don't think the tournament format is about that. The tournament format is not about the better player winning. It's not. It doesn't promote that then. Better player can win. It's not impossible, obviously. But it doesn't promote, okay, we're doing this to filter out the fluff and make a top player win. Seeding kind of does that, but I think it does it in the wrong way. And that's a different conversation entirely. I think you should just be round robin or high stakes. And then that will filter out all the liabilities. Personally, that's what I think. If you want Twitch, oh right, yeah, Twitch chat, top 8. Streamers are clearly, I mean, the stream chat is chaotic in the sense that it just goes too quick anyway. It's clearly, like, if you think about how big Twitch is now, you can go on a stream, even if you went on anything other than a fucking fighting game stream, where you get mad numbers, it's incomprehensible to read the shit. You can't, because it's moving way too quick. I don't know why anyone's messaged on it at that point. When there's that many people and you can't have a conversation, and you won't even get your fucking sentence seen. So what's the point? It doesn't make sense to me. But I don't think it is chaotic. But I think that is more to do with people just being keyboard warriors. You know, being Johnny Big Bollocks behind a keyboard. That's what that is. Having no repercussions for saying shit online because they're not going to find me, or it's just going to get fucking scrolled past and, oh, this was funny. Like, it's just stupidity more than anything. I think the stream chat is. It's a necessary evil, I guess, though. I think, to be fair, it's the best format to have idiots on. Because, like I said, it just comes and goes. You don't have to fucking sit there and read it because it's not in like your DMs, or it's not on Twitter where everyone's atting you, so you have to acknowledge what was said. It's there and then it's gone. And most of the comments on there is best that it's like that you don't fucking have to dwell on it or look into it too heavy. But yeah, that's a pretty long rank. Oh my god, that's nearly fucking an hour. Yeah, I'll try and wrap it up in a minute. Don't know if anyone else has got any ideas. If I'm wrong, any examples of people, of the 98.7% of people not being in love with chaos? Because I would love to know. Like I said, with like tournament structure, that is pretty chaotic. People loving to complain without solutions. I think that's the main reason, because if you moan and come up with a solution, then you're creating control in it. But you don't want the control. You want something to moan about. You want the distraction from the fact that you're shit at a fighting game. So you have to open your mouth to be noticed and be relevant. If you want to control, you get good, and then you'd have more clout in what you say or what happens in a tournament. If you don't like pot splitting, for example, I think I said this on the Bullet show. If you don't like pot splitting, get good, get to finals, then you can take the money. Then they can't pot split. Simple as that. What is it to do with you what that person does with that money? If the people in grand finals play a serious match and then split the money, would you moan? Or are you moaning because they've gone into the grand finals knowing that they're going to pot split and they're not putting on a show for you? A show that you didn't pay for? Why are these people so entitled to stuff when they've not put money into it, or it would happen without them anyway? Like Stream Monsters, if a grand final would happen if there was no stream or not. There might not have been a tournament because they didn't have enough money, but that's a different issue. But there was tournaments before Twitch. There was tournaments before Stream Monsters. So why is that a thing? Or why is that thing anyone should be caring about? I'm not saying people caring about it now, but they did for a long time. Pot splitting was a big thing. I'll say the same with shilling as well. Fuck it. Like, if I could shill, I would. If Capcom gave me money to pretend to like that game, I'd fucking do it. Why fucking not? I mean, I don't think Street Fighter is a bad game. It gets on my nerves, but I don't think it's a horrendous game. And if they want to give me money to play a shit game, I mean, there's a lot of people that go to work and they don't like their job, but you have to get money. So that's pretty much it, innit? MVCI was a pretty good game. And I don't think saying people are shilling because I like it is relevant. It just sounds like it sounds like people just creating chaos because they want some chaos. And the thing is, chaos will come regardless. You don't have to make fake tofu chaos. Like, shit is going to happen regardless. So why force it? It just kills good games. Like, Cross Tekken is a perfect example of that. That was a good game. It ended up being a good game, sorry. It wasn't a good at the beginning, for sure. People hate analytic commentators, bit like in Hypeman. I mean, yeah. I don't want to say like certain commentators force hype and chaos and shit. Commentating chaos, yeah, it's fun to people because I guess that's what they like to see. Speaking of commentators, fucking Ski Sonics. He got fucking so much hate, and I can't comprehend why. I can't see why he would get so much. Like, he got a lot, like, an unnecessary amount of hate. And I don't know if there's something he did that I was unaware of. The only thing I think of is that people thought it was a bit weird, and he was a bit creepy around girls and shit. Like, but it's... I don't know. Maybe I missed something. But to me, Ski Sonic wasn't that bad. I think Ski Sonic was one of the better commentators, to be fair. Like, he could be that, even though it was weird hype, it was still hype. Like, he would make noise, he would chat. But he also knew a lot about a lot of games. A fucking lot of games. And the only person who kind of gets a buy for being very analytical is Seth Killian. No, I like Seth Killian regardless. Like, I think his commentating's good, but I like that sort of commentating. Where other people say they don't like that sort of commentating, but like Seth Killian, I don't think Seth Killian's hype at all. I think he's a really good commentator. He's not trying to be a hype man. Why they put him and James Chen together, I don't know. Probably history and, you know, they've definitely got chemistry, but they've got... James Chen has hype bits, but he's not a hype man. I think you should put a commentator with a hype man. There's not many duos that are like that. And there's not many people that can do both. I think Sejam can do both. And I don't even like Sejam that much. Like, it's more like a personal thing. Like, I just don't like... I don't like the tone of his voice, which sounds mad picky. But not to a degree where I'm going to tweet about it and fucking complain about it. I think he's still good at what he does. He puts in mad work. He does bare research. So I can't hate that. I think he's a very good commentator. And he can do both. He can hype. He can commentate. He can be funny. He can be witty. I just don't like the tone of his voice. He sounds very condescending. And I think it's a bit annoying. But yeah, he knows his shit. And he can do both. Tasty Steve, I think, can do both. Ultra David can do both when it needs to. He doesn't force it. When he needs to be hype, he'll be hype. James Chen's kind of witty. Who else is there? I like Ebonic Plague. He's kind of, like, sort of coming up. He's been around for time, but Ebonic Plague is really good at commentating, I feel. Really good. But I think he's going to get the fucking Sonic Fox syndrome. Not Sonic Fox. The Ski Sonic syndrome, if he's not careful. I can see people just not liking him just because he's a bit different. A bit different what he's into and stuff. And there's a lot of people that get away with it. There's a lot of players that get away with this shit. Like, if Sonic Fox was a commentator, I don't think people would be as accepting. I don't think. Because I've seen how people are to female commentators. So fuck knows what they'll do to Sonny Fox if he wanted to start commentating. I think the commentators we got over here are pretty good. Well, actually, no. Not pretty good. They are actually good. They have got really good commentators. Not trying to compare them to like American ones. They're on par easily. So we're pretty lucky. Margin Obama's sick. He might be my favourite. Him or Ryan Hunter. So I'm glad they did it together for Guilty Gear. They're fucking sick. Right, for two different reasons. Like, Ryan Hunter he's like a Brady guide. He's an audio Brady guide. He just knows everything. When he puts his mind to a game, he knows everything. He was the same in Cross Tekken. That didn't obviously get big. And he was a bit late to XR. He played all the other Guilty Gears, I believe. He definitely played like Accent Core. He plays Venom. Went to Japan and shit like that. His knowledge of the game is second to none, for sure. And again, he can get hype when it's warranted. The whole Bushige thing, he got hype for that. He was screaming and stuff. That was pretty funny. And Obama's just fucking... For me, Obama is what people think Yipes is. Oh no, Obama is what Yipes used to be. When Yipes used to commentate MVC2 and MVC3, it's a lot different to how he does Street Fighter 5, MVCI, and DragonBall. It's a lot different. Just go watch it. I'm not gonna diss Yipes and tell you why I don't like him and shit. Just look at the difference, and then you understand why. And Obama reminds me of old commentating Yipes, where he's got everything. He's got the fucking stupid noises. He's got the wordplay. He's got the inside jokes that work outside. Yeah, he's fucking sick. Obama's sick. Over here, I would say, obviously, my boy Jammers, he's good. And it's more because I appreciate, like, the work he put in and stuff. Like, he grinded for that position. It wasn't just given to him. He was in the right place at the right time, for sure. But he still worked for it. He still works for it. Damascus and Tyrant for Street Fighter is fucking sick. Obviously, F-Word and Logan. I didn't used to like Logan's commentating. I didn't think he knew enough to warrant where he was, but he stepped up fucking a lot. So I can't hate. Regardless if I dislike a person, if I can see that they're putting in work or they've improved or doing a good job, I can't be a dick about it. But yeah, I think that's about it. That was the Chaos Rant. I might revisit this with someone maybe next time. I'll do a podcast with someone and then we can like bounce things back and forth. I think I covered pretty much everything I wanted to say. Probably go play Dragon Ball for about an hour or something. Maybe. Or watch a stream or some shit. I don't know. But it's long in it. I feel drained. The rants are fucking draining when you do it on your own. But yeah, say for anyone who jumped in, man. Much appreciated. Everyone who put their feedback for my comments in the chat. Interacting with me. Not just agreeing with me. Shout out to Foxy. Yeah, it's just... it's hard because obviously I didn't know enough about NRS games. So I had to take Foxy's word for gospel, which isn't a bad thing to do. Obviously Foxy knows his shit. He's been playing that game for time, and he's obviously really good at it, so he knows what he's talking about. But yeah, hopefully my point went across, and people think for themselves, because that's the whole point of all of this fucking big rant shit. It's just to hear the other side and make a decision, not based on what you're told to think or what you think you should be thinking, because of how things have already been or whatever. It's like, use your brain. Just use your brain. I think the next one I'm going to do is about fairness, because there's a lot of unfair bollocks in the fighting game scene, and people will overlook it to make their life easier. And to me, that is just fucking bizarre. Just straight up bizarre. But anyway, yeah, safe for everyone. Jumped in, and I don't know when the next one's going to be. I might just like tweet out or something on we've got a Twitter. Situational damage, or situational dam on Twitter. I might do a poll for the next one, or if you've got suggestions, just tweet to that, and I'll find it, and I'll put it down on the paper, make it a priority to talk about it for sure. My Twitter is IMC4, aka 98.7% on Twitter. Go to YouTube. I'll put all the archives up on there for the fucking podcasts. This one will go up there probably tomorrow at some point. But I've got some other ones already up there. It's like 3 other podcasts, about the same length to be fair. Yeah, fucking play fucking games in it. Preferably Skullgirls or Cross Tekken, but play any game. That's cool. Anyway, guys, take it easy. Peace.